A is to move you from wherever you are today up 2 or 3 notches. And I am not going to be happy if I can't accomplish that. One of my mentors, one of the people I've looked up to over the years is a guy named Pat Riley. Ring a bell? Okay? Amazing guy. Amazing guy. He had a team. He managed the Laker team here, back, I think it was in the 80s. Back in the 80s, and did an amazing job. And they wrote a book. And the book was called Showtime. And there's a couple of excerpts from the book that really apply to what I want to accomplish and talk to you about today. In the book, he says, there are significant moments in every person's life and in every office's life when breakthroughs can occur. There are those moments when you can make those breakthroughs, he says. If you have a positive attitude and constantly strive to give your best effort, you can overcome intermediate problems and find you're ready for greater challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, that time is now. I wrote on the top of our sales meeting today that this is our moment in time. Right now, this is our moment in time. I'm talking specifically about Century 21 Masters, moment in time. He said, somewhere, someplace, sometime, you're going to have to plant your feet, make a stand, kick some ass, and when that time comes, you'll know it. I want to tell you, that trip was able to clear some cobwebs for me and help me to focus on what was sitting right in front of us. So write this down. Our goal is to be the #1 Century 21 office this year. We have 6 months to accomplish it. For the first time in the history that I've been in Century 21, we are within striking distance. We are not #1. We are #2. We might even be #3. The way the numbers are, we'll see what happens when the report comes out on the 12th. But mark my words, you guys are ready for it. The time is now, and the opportunity is right in front of us. And that's going to be our mission for the next 6 months, through all of June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Each of us, in our own way, the listings you take, the sales you make, the closings you have, will contribute to that bigger goal. We all will have to buy into that responsibility. I wrote down here, the key to success is not great talent. The key to success is to learn how to do something right, then do it right every time. Do it the same way every time. You see, you don't have to be the greatest agent or the greatest listing person or the greatest buyer's agent. What you have to do is figure out what you're supposed to do, which is what we teach you every single day. And if you will do that on a regular basis over time, you will win. Huge. It's huge. I wrote down here, we have one advantage that most companies don't have. We have one advantage that most companies don't have. Anybody know what that is? One advantage. Thank you. It's not, let me tell you something, it ain't me. We have one advantage, and that is your work ethic. Your work ethic. I know that you don't think that sometimes you work as hard as you should work, or you do the things that you should do all the time. I get that. And sometimes I'll be on you, or one of your coaches is saying, oh, come on, 20 contacts a day? What are you trying to kid? But the bottom line is, you're working harder than 99.5% of your competition. Do you get that? All we need you to do is crank it up slightly. Slightly. Think about this. Here's what I know. If each of you will do what you're planning on doing anyway for the balance of the next 6 months, whether that's a deal a month, 2 deals a month, 10 deals, 15, 25, 30, whatever it is that you're going to do in that 6 months. If you will do that, and then add one more, just one, and our 200 people, that's 200 transactions. We blow the doors off the competition. We ensure our success. No one can beat you. No one. Do you get what I'm saying? This is the time. This is your time. Write down June 28th. June 28th at the Shiloh Inn. I think it's 9:30 or 10 o'clock. I'll get the date, the times out to you. We're having an event there. Now, some of you know that Mike Ferry has done some local events with some local brokers, and those are great. And some of you have attended some of those, and it was terrific. Mike does a great job. My conversations with Mike, and I set this up before I left, was that I wanted to do it closer to the Superstar Retreat. I wanted to do it closer to the end of June. Because what I wanted from him is I wanted his absolute best stuff. Mike knows our goal is to be number one. He knows that we're putting ourselves on the line to do this. He's going to come in, he's pulling out all the stops, and his commitment to me / to you is to share with us everything that we're going to need to help us crank it up for the next 6 months and run through the finish line. We are his best customer. We are his longest and most loyal customer. And he wants this for us as much as we want it for ourselves. So make sure that each and every one of you are going to be there. Now, you can help us by making sure, if you have a friend that you think should be part of this championship team, this winning team, now we need to know about it. Because any agent that we can get that comes into our firm that will close transactions between now and the end of the year is only going to help in what we do. Now, that's the plus side for the company. The plus side for the agents is, let me tell you something, you guys and gals, you're going to make a lot of money between now and the end of the year. And is that okay? Yes. Say yes.
Yes.
Jeez. I want you to know, I have never in 30 plus years of managing said we're going to be number one in the country, because I didn't think it was technically possible based on the numbers and things that were going on in the communities. And I have made a promise to you guys that I would never ask you to do something, never ask you to shoot for something that I didn't think you could do, that was attainable. When I say to you, you can go get a listing from an expired, I know if you do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, you can do that. I know you're capable of making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 a year if you will do the things that we ask you to do over the time. I know that. As well as I know we can be number one right now. That's why I'm bringing this up. The time is now. It's all of us. And we want to be part of that championship team. No one can ever take that away from you. Think for a minute. Think for a minute. It's January 1st. There's probably won't know technically until January 15th whether we really are or not. So let's say it's January 15th. But all the numbers settle in. And we did it. How would you feel about yourself? How would you feel about yourself? Would you feel pretty good about yourselves? Right? Feel great about yourselves. No one can ever take that feeling away from you. No one. When I ran the marathon, and I was done with the marathon, you know, as crazy as that was, 26.2 miles, all I could think of is that that was an accomplishment that no one could ever take away from me. That was an accomplishment that I achieved. Write this down. Pain is temporary. Pain is temporary. Pain is temporary. Pride is forever. Pain is temporary. Pride is forever. So how are we going to do this? How is this going to break down? What are you asking me to do? I already work hard. I already have problems trying to close my transactions. Come on. Well, I broke it down a little bit for us. All right, let's write this down. I broke it down into what I see as three segments between now and the end of the year. Because when you look between now and the end of the year, you think in terms of I have plenty of time. I don't want to do that. I don't want to think in that way. Let's break it down into three segments. So, the first segment is between now and the Superstar Retreat. Between now, today, and the Superstar Retreat. Right down there's 30 work days. Between now and the Superstar Retreat, there's 30 work days. We get back to work on the 25th of July. So we're going to go from the 25th of July to the first day of October, or the last, what's that, September, October. So September 30th is going to be the last day of that period. So that's 50 work days. Write that down. And then the last section is going to be October 1st, and we're going to actually run through the finish line. The end of that section is January 8th, and that's when we go to the one-on-one retreat. So that's going to be 64 days. So we have 30 work days, 50 work days, 64 work days. 3 different segments of time. Everybody with me? Say yes.
Yes.
All right. Now, what we're going to do is, let's break it down a little bit further. We have phone blitzes on Tuesdays, right?
Yes.
We have phone blitzes on Fridays, and we have door blitzes on Thursdays. So, for organized events you don't even have to think about, all you have to do is show up for the most part. We already have those organized for you. Let me show you how those break down. Those organized events are going to give us, on Tuesday, it's going to give us 30, if you look at between now and the end of the year, 30 Tuesdays that you're going to be phone blitzing. Write that down. 30 Tuesdays. 30 Tuesdays at 7 hours of prospecting, because remember, pain is temporary, pride is forever. You're going to work all day on Tuesday. All day. Nothing's going to get in the way. No distractions. You're going to commit to all day on Tuesdays. From the morning to the night. Figure it out. 30 work days. If you do that, that's 7 hours of prospecting per day. That's 210 hours of prospecting. And if you do 8 contacts an hour, that's 1,680 contacts. Write down 1,680 contacts. Just by working every single Tuesday between now and the end of the year, you'll make almost 1,700 contacts, all by itself. Now let's take in Thursday. Thursday, we have 29 Thursdays. There are 29 Thursdays in the event because there is Thanksgiving, and you can be off.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 29 Thursdays at 3.5 hours of prospecting per Thursday is 101 hours of prospecting, or another 808 contacts. Now Friday's phone blitz. Again, 29 Fridays, because I know if you take Thursday off, you're not going to work Friday. Okay, I get that. So now you have that Friday off, so you have 29 Fridays in the next 6 months. So now we have another 101 hours of prospecting and 808 contacts. So if you take the 1,680, the 808, the 808, you come up with 3,296 contacts. Write that down. 3,300 contacts, 3,300 people you're going to talk to. Let me ask you a question, just as a side note here. If you did talk to 3,200 people between now and the end of the year without looking at your numbers, do you think you could sell a few houses? Just curious. If you talked to 3,300 people, could you sell a few houses? Yes or no?
Yes.
Absolutely you could. So we've organized for you 88 work days. That's the 29, 29, and 30. That's 88 work days. I wrote down here that there's actually 144 work days in that period of time. So not quite half of all the work days in the next 6 months are organized by the company, where you get to come in, you get some training, you get some camaraderie, you get some lunch, you get some bagels, you get the opportunity to win some gas cards. How can you fail at this? If you did nothing but take advantage of just the organized events. Just the organized events. But we're leaving you with an additional 56 work days. What if you knocked on and talked to 40 contacts a day on those 56 days? Just on your own. Okay? Not organized. That would be another 2,240 contacts. Ladies and gentlemen, between now and the end of the year, if you did this, you could talk to almost 6,000 people. 6,000 people. With the mindset that you want to be number one. And we have the chance to do it. We can do it now. Right now. I don't know if we can do it next year. I'm not sure. But I do know that right now, that this team, we can pull this off. So, what do I need to do? So I wrote down a few things. First of all, you need to learn your scripts daily. You need to prospect daily for leads. You need to and I wrote down here, prospecting is lead generating, and lead follow-up is appointment setting. And I wrote down here, work towards an appointment every day, whether it's a buyer or a seller. Imagine that. What if you actually went out on a listing appointment or a buyer appointment every single work day between now and the end of the year? Not only would you personally make a fortune, but we would, again, ensure our being number one. Remember, no one has a better work ethic. No other office. Do you know why real estate agents don't come to work for this company? Do you know the number one reason? They're afraid of what? Well, they're afraid of being successful. Is kind of, that's, They don't want to what? They don't want to work. You know it. They don't want to work because we have a reputation in our community that this company goes to work. What a concept. What a concept. Well, let's take that and let's do something with it. Let's do something with it. That sign says number 1 in Century 21. That sign says number 1 in Century 21. I am going to plant this on your head. I'm going to put up these stickers, and it's going to say number 1 in Century 21. I'm going to make you nuts, because in everything we do and say is going to say that. I want that goal right in front of you. Why? Because I need it right in front of me. I'm stepping out of my box. You know what's weird here? See, I'm putting myself way out there. Don't do that usually. I know I have a great group of people, and we work really hard to it. But I never put myself in a situation where I feel like I might not win. Now, I don't feel I won't win here, but my ego's a little bit nervous right now. I am not going to let you down. I don't want you guys to let me down. For the next 6 months, we're going to make a lot of money together on this deal.
Neil, may I say something?
Sure.
You guys have seen the advertising campaign from 2021 this quarter. It's about energastic, which is full of energy, full of tenacity. That's what Neil represents right there, and I'm proud of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. A friend of mine, Bobby in Florida, sent this email today. You know, everything I think is somehow comes from the universe. Whether it's universal, whether it's God, whether it's Muhammad, whatever you believe in, there's a universal thing happening out there. And this morning, on my way in, there's an email. Listen to this. This is a quote from Earl Nightingale. 1 hour per day of study will put you at the top of your field within 3 years. 1 hour of daily study will put you at the top of your field in 3 years. Doing 1 hour for 5 years, you'll be a national authority on the subject. And he said, in 7 years, 1 hour a day of doing practice, drill, and rehearse, you can be one of the best people in the world at what you do. 1 hour a day. Practice, drill, and rehearse. Practice, drill, and rehearse. My question to you is, how would your business improve? How would your mindset improve? How would your self-confidence improve if you were to take and be consistent on 1 hour a day of practice, drill, and rehearse over the next 3, 5, or 7 years? How would that change your life? You see, that's something most people won't do, is it? But if you will do what people won't do for the next 7 to 10 years, I'm here to tell you, you can do what people can't do for the rest of your life. And you will be, this year, part of the #1 in Century 21. You can do this. And we'll all go to the convention, and we'll all get up on stage, because we did what we're supposed to do starting today for the next 6 months. Today matters. It has to start today. It has to start as soon as we walk out of here today. We need to pick up the phones. We need to make those commitments. We need to work on the things. We need to clear the decks and get rid of the distractions and stay focused on the next 6 months so we can be number one in Century 21. Let's go out and make it happen. Thank you.